Today's episode is one of the most tender and real conversations I've shared on this podcast: menopause and loss. Now, before you switch off thinking this is going to be all doom and gloom, stay with me, because yes, loss is part of this transition, but so is humour, resilience, reinvention, and even sass. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Hot and Healthy Menopause, the podcast that helps you thrive through the transition. I'm your host, Nicole van Hattem, TEDx speaker, 3 times best-selling author, licensed menopause champion, and your trusted retreat advisor. Here on the show, you'll get expert guidance, practical tools, and retreat inspiration. So you don't just survive menopause, you create the next powerful chapter of your life. Now let's dive into today's episode. First of all, the loss of estrogen. Let's start with our old friend estrogen. It's been there since our teenage years, shaping our bodies, moods, bones, skin, and even how our brains process information. And then one day it starts packing its bags without even a goodbye note. Suddenly we're left with hot flushes, sleepless nights, and mood swings that could scare small animals. This hormonal shift can feel like losing part of ourselves. For me, it was also about looking in the mirror and thinking, who is that woman staring back? The skin wasn't as plump, the sparkle in the eyes looked different. And society hasn't exactly been kind, has it? The beauty industry and media love to tell us that our value is tied to youth. Smooth skin, tight bodies, eternal fertility. But here's the reality check. Aging is natural. What's not natural is being made to feel invisible or less than because of it. One way we can push back is by literally changing the algorithm. Do you know that what you see online is influenced by what you like, share, and comment on? If you want more images of radiant, powerful women in midlife and beyond, start engaging with them. Follow accounts that celebrate aging. Unfollow the ones that make you feel not enough. Individually, it feels small. Collectively, it changes culture. Loss of fertility. Then there's fertility. Menopause marks the end of our reproductive years. For some women, that's a relief. No more cycles, no more birth control. For me, it came with grief. The door closed on becoming a mother, and that was a loss I had to sit with. Yes, I'm a proud dog mum, and let me tell you, dog mums are amazing, but it's not the same as raising children. That grief deserves space, and it doesn't mean I'm not grateful for the life I have. It just means that loss has layers. So if you're feeling that ache, no, you're not alone. It's okay to honour it, to say, yes, this mattered to me. Yes, this hurts. And it's okay to find joy in other forms of nurturing, whether that's pets, nieces and nephews, your community, or even nurturing yourself for a change. Loss of identity and confidence. This one might be the trickiest. Identity. When your body changes, it can feel like your reflection no longer matches who you are inside. There were days when I'd glance at myself and think, I don't recognise her. And when that happens, confidence can crumble. It shows up at work, in relationships, even how we carry ourselves in daily life. And let's be honest, women in midlife often face bias in the workplace. We're seen as past our prime, instead of valued for our decades of experience, emotional intelligence, and resilience. But here's how we flip that script. We reframe our experience. In a resume, in a job interview, or when pitching your business, highlight those strengths. Midlife women bring stability, perspective, problem-solving skills, and leadership that younger colleagues simply can't. That is value, that is strength. And if menopause has you questioning your career path altogether, that's not failure, that's wisdom. I went from a high-flying corporate career into part-time for a while because I needed breathing space, self-care, and time to rethink what I really wanted. Reviewing your career doesn't mean quitting everything overnight. It means asking, does this still fit? What needs to change? Loss in relationships, hobbies, and daily life. Loss shows up in our wider lives too. Romantic and intimate relationships shift as hormones change. Our wants, needs and desires can look different. For some couples that creates tension. For others, it opens conversations that deepen connection. But either way, it's a transition worth naming. Then there are hobbies and interests we've loved for years. Maybe tennis no longer works for your knees, so you discover pickleball. Maybe running feels punishing, so yoga or a rebounder feels better. I actually shared in another episode what swapping my workouts, not as a defeat, but as an evolution. And let's talk food and drink. In our 20s, a pizza, a bottle of wine and 2 cups of coffee might have been a normal Saturday. Now, that's 3 days of bloating, a hangover from hell, and 1 cappuccino that keeps me awake until 3 a.m. It's not fair, but it's reality. And here's where we bring in lightness. Menopause is basically the universe's way of saying, darling, we need to upgrade your lifestyle settings. And you know what? Once you figure out what actually makes your body feel good now, life gets a lot more comfortable. Adapting and finding new meaning. So yes, menopause brings loss. Estrogen, fertility, identity, confidence, even some favourite foods, hobbies or relationship patterns. But loss is not just the end of something. It's the compost that nourishes new beginnings. It's the chance to see beauty in the mirror in a new way, to demand that society changes its lens on ageing, to reframe our value in the workplace, to explore new careers, new joys, new forms of intimacy, and new ways of taking care of ourselves. I want to close today's episode with a poem I wrote about this journey. A mix of respect, sass, and humour, because menopause deserves all of it. Hot flashes and farewells. Goodbye, estrogen. Thanks for the ride. You kept my skin plump and my mood on the tide. Now you've ghosted me. No text, no call, just night sweats, brain fog, and the occasional ball. Farewell, fertility. We had a good run. But honestly, periods, I won't miss that fun. No more tampons stuffed in my bag's secret pocket. Now I've got supplements, fans, and herbal concoctions to stock it. Identity shifting, my waistline has too. My mirror says stranger. I say, who the hell are you? But loss doesn't scare me. It's just clearing the room for sass, reinvention, and a second half boom. So pour me some tea or maybe a wine. Here's to hot flashes, new dreams, and life redesigned. Menopause is messy, but let's raise a glass because loss might be real, but so is my sass. So beautiful listener, as you think about your own experiences of loss in menopause, I invite you to also ask what might be waiting on the other side of that loss. And if you'd like support to explore that, I'd love to work with you one-on-one. You can book a coaching session with me through my website at nicolevanhattem.com. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, every ending makes space for a new beginning, and loss, while real, is never the whole story. Until next time, stay hot, stay healthy, and stay wonderfully you. Thanks for listening to Hot and Healthy Menopause. If today's episode helped you, please follow the show and share it with a friend who's also navigating the transition. And remember, you'll find my free menopause symptom tracker, retreat recommendations, and more resources at nicolevanhattem.com. This is your time to thrive, and I'll be right here to guide you through it.